Hello everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Wednesday! It is our last Wednesday stream of the year. Don't worry. We have plenty of them next year. Somewhere in the region of about 52, one would imagine. But, yeah. We're here. We're live on a Wednesday. Not long now until Christmas. This time next week, it will be Christmas Day. So, I hope you're all excited for it. And if you're not excited for it, I hope you have a good day regardless. But firstly, before we go any further, we've already got a new member. Graham462 has become a battle hipster. Like an absolute bloody legend. Putting us on a lovely round 450. Oh, hang on. Chris, I'm very sorry. I logged into Nightbot. And I finally added it to the chat. But I need to turn off some of the... There we go. There we go. I'm trying to become a proper streamer, you see. But also, thank you very much, Cameron, for being a member for 19 months. Looking forward to the double helping of Slanesh to end the year. It's been a great one. Yeah, we do have a double help, a double whammy. Here's number 600. Sat on the desk. So yeah, I should have... I don't know what I'm doing with Nightbot, so I need to figure out how it works. But I added it. That's the main thing. So we'll be able to have exclamation mark things. So maybe you guys can help me put some of those together as to what they should be. But Nightbot, don't be naughty. Well, I haven't got that in there as an alert. Hey Josh, do you have any vids for the contents of the Imperial Lights box? Got that and the Dark Angels that I'm going to have to work through at some point. What do you mean, the Lights box? I don't know what that means. Knights! Knights! I have Chaos Knights. I don't have Knights. You're the man, bro. Oh, thank you, Reese. I haven't set up any alerts yet, guys. Although I like exclamation bombardment. That's a good one. Like the streams, I think is a good one. Yeah, it is a good one, but I don't want to rip off Liam for everything that Liam does in his life. He's the professional streamer around here. But yeah, I have plenty of Dark Angels stuff. I don't have any of Imperial Knights videos, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, guess what I've been working on today? If you haven't already seen, I shared in the Discord and on Instagram. I've been working on Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. Here he is. So, it's there. And it's coming together nicely. The Maw Crusher's finished. I just need to do the big man himself. So we're going to get to that eventually. Well, we'll probably do it tonight. But it does mean that for all of you who are hoping for it, we have also finished the Saviours of Cinderfall. There is one. There is another. There is a third. Here is a fourth. And here is fifth. And here are the leaders themselves, Callus and Toll. So they are now done. Surely you can't paint that model without sub-assemblies. It's just not possible. No, it's not. But I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, no, it's a single assembly. So there they are. There he is. That's what he looks like so far. I literally before the stream finished. Well, I put the skin on basically, and then it's just going to be a case of clearing up the rest of the details. This guy could paint everything without sub-assemblies. That's what I do. It's what I do. There are some models that I have done in the past which were not in sub-assemblies. Belisarius Call being an example. But there isn't a video for him. But I do have one I could build and paint for another video. But that would be the 4th Belisarius Call I've painted in my life. And I really don't want to do that again. Are you going to be painting any of those to order Sector Imperialis terrain for 40k? I really would like to, John. I need to see how much it's all going to be. Because I've spent a lot of money on Christmas. I'm very poor at the moment, so I need to see how much the made-to-order terrain is going to be before I pull the trigger on it. But I do want to get the Basilicanum and the other one with the smaller statues, which I can't remember the name of, because it's my favourite terrain Games Workshop's ever made. Will you be painting Snarlfangs in preparation for the Git mob? I could try. I do have some I could do. The case is always whether or not we have the time. And I do not have the time at the moment. And I'm not thinking anything further than ahead than like the 4th of January at the moment. Do we need to form a pop supergroup to release a single to raise money for Imperialis Terrain Paint Aid 24? Do they know it's terrain time? Yeah, pretty much. Or instead of that, what you could do is you could all like the stream for free. Can you paint more dinosaurs? I do have some more dinosaurs I could do. I think that might be a... I think it might be a case of if you do this... There you go. Like the stream or Josh will be sad. That's the one command I've done. ADR Wargaming, Adam, thank you very much for 10 of the finest gifted Warhipster memberships. That will go a long way to getting towards some terrain. You could also, like Adam, gift some memberships if you're already a member, or become a member, or you could do a super chat, or you could do any of the like, you know, any of those over and above things. Exactly, like the stream or Josh will be sad. So I can just make these commands, right? Bombardment! I mean, I can just do that. I can put that in there now. There you go. So now there's 2 whole commands. There you go. And you could also just like Adam. You could just like Adam. Who plays the intro music to your vids? All of my intro music comes from a website called Epidemic Sound. It's a smorgasbord. A smorgasbord. And it's all free. Well, it's not free. It's royalty free. And it should be. That should be. Oh no, hang on. It's .com. There you go. That should be the. That should get you there. It might take a moment for the bombardment command to save. It'll happen eventually, I'm sure. Nightbot will figure itself out. Hello, Pritters. My 2 other accounts are not subbed. Did you just sub on your 2 other accounts, Blethin? Because if you did, that would explain why we are on 74,793. We are so very close to 75k on the year. That's not in a year, but that would be the final. That's what we're shooting for. We're 207 subscribers away. Could you finish doing guides for the Primarchs? I follow the ones you've done, but need your guide on the others. Grant, you're in luck. I will be starting this one very soon. Probably the biggest one. I mean, it's definitely the biggest one. We're going to be doing this one very, very soon. That video, I will be working on it this week. Well, maybe. Depends how long Shalaxi Hellbane takes me. She's up next. Fulgrim is going to be model number 600 on the year. Gordrak is currently model 598. And that is where we've got to on Gordrak. 598 model. Or 598th model, I should say. And of course Shalaxi will be 599. And then Fulgrim will be number 600. But guys... Today's stream. We're looking back over 2024. We're having a bit of a reflective moment, basically, is what we're doing. And we're just going to be chatting, hanging out. I might paint a little bit of Gordrak, if that's something that you guys want to see. Good evening, Peter. How are you? You'll have Fulgrim finished by New Year? Absolutely, I will, Swarm. I did this. Right. Okay. So this... I started this at midnight last night. And I painted for 4 hours. So far, we're 8 hours in on this, because I did about 4.5, 5 hours later. So 9 hours. 9 hours. 9 hours and I've done the whole of the Maw Crusher. Fulgrim, he'll be a walk in the park. You bloody won't. It's going to be nothing but a pain in the ass to do, I'm pretty certain of. But, yeah, I'll definitely get it done. I think it'll take me 2.5 days, maybe 3. Just curious, I know you're going to be focusing on 40k and AOS due to MESBG being a view black hole, but how soon in January do you think you'll tackle any of the new Forge World War of the Rohirrim models? How soon? Well, at the moment, the third week of January looks pretty clear. But I don't know. I don't know what the next couple of weeks holds for me. If I'm all done with Fulgrim by the end of Monday, for example, then I could possibly get started on those 3 models. Meant to say my model is here, Josh, and is currently being built. Ah, good. Congratulations. Well done for winning. Is he built? Yeah, Fulgrim's built. He's here. Fully built. Ready to go. Ready to slay. Soleil. Blair Roland, or Roland, however I'm supposed to say that. I'm very sorry if I got that completely wrong. But thank you very much for becoming a member. You are our 12th new member of the day, putting us on 461. Currently finishing my custodies using your guides. They're great to follow. May have got all the prime marks for projects with Fulgrim on order. That's nice, Grant. I like it. There's many of them that I need to do. They are a financial black hole, which is why I don't have them all. They're a treat, basically. But we shall see. Not too bad. I've been worse. How's the Titan prep going? Titan prep has I haven't done any more on it. I will do some next week. The claw, I will finish prepping the claw, basically. I'll probably do it on Monday. When you're texting me complaining about how much of a knob Fulgrim is to paint, I'll remember this. He'll be no problem at all, combo. Well, yeah. You can remember whatever you like, Adam. I sure won't. It's called neurodivergence. Sadly, I got given a redundancy notice last week, so job hunts abound in 2025. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter. I'm sure a man of your talent will find a job in no time at all. I will keep everything crossed for you, my mate. My mate? My man. You are my mate as well. Could paint Santa Hammerhand for Christmas. I could. I've sworn to Alice that I will have at least 3 days off from. I mean, I might do a little bit here and there, but like in the downtime. But I'm gonna have some early nights across Christmas because I've earned it. Let's be fair. We're nearly at 600 models painted. You know. What's been your favourite model to paint this year? My favourite of yours has been Usharan so far. He's just so cool. I would agree with you, Cameron. I think Usharan was my favourite model of the year. I think he was just my favourite model of the year, full stop. And painting him was a huge amount of fun because what I'd always wanted to do, I'd always wanted to have a Flesh Eater Quartz army. And he was a very big justification in doing that. The rest of the range getting the update absolutely was as well. Like the Vargulf Courtier is a personal favourite of mine. I really like the Cardinal. I like Gormain. I like the Executioner. I love the Crypt Guard. I love the Morbeg Knights. I really enjoy them. But I've always wanted the Flesh Eater Quartz army because I think they're one of the most compelling options in Age of Sigmar from a narrative standpoint. But I didn't want to do it whilst the only options were horrors, flayers, and ghouls, and Terrorgeist. So, to do him, he was an enabler. He was an enabler of a lot of other things, which is why I really enjoyed painting that model, and why I really loved it. And I think, yeah, it probably was the biggest highlight of the year in terms of single model. The greatest moment, I think, for me was obviously AOS 4 happening. And getting to be a part of the kind of the YouTube media cycle, as it were, of an Age of Sigmar release was a very special thing. Because I started doing this obviously with Dominion, but it wasn't as like somebody who had a relationship with Games Workshop at that point. That came later, a year later, in fact, as part of Contrast 2 when that came out. And so in that time, I've done a 40k and I've done an AOS, and I'm really excited for this next year because I've no idea what this summer's going to be. It's going to be big, I think. It's going to be interesting. Number one, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Number one, make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Who will be the 600th model? It will be Fulgrim Transfigured. Captain Mannings had 12 minutes before my next calls and saw Warhipster was on. Not calls at this time, although I assume you're not working in the UK right now. And then No Name, I've run out of ideas. I've just seen 20 gifted memberships. Incredible. Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous of you. I really appreciate that. You guys really want to see me paint some terrain, don't you? You're being very generous tonight, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas all round. What's been your most viewed video this year so far? That is an excellent... That is an excellent question. Let's have a look. Content. No. Analytics. This better not screw up the graphic. No, it hasn't. Okay, content. Most viewed videos. Where do I see that? Videos. Last 365 days. That'll do it. In 2024, my most viewed video is Contrast Plus, How to Paint New Deathwing Knights, with 52,945 views. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. Not bad indeed. No Name with the $60 you super chat says perhaps a Mirkwood Armored Warriors tutorial in 2025 purchased with a super chat. Hint, hint. Okay, No Name, for you. Let's go and put it into the cart. Oh god, that's zoomed in. Mirkwood Warriors. Where are we? They are currently out of stock. God damn it! This right. I'm gonna hit the notify me button. There we go. They're gonna send me an email now. I'm gonna do the same thing for Thranduil as well. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. I assume it was the armored ones, not the rangers. Thank you so much for the $60 super chat. Incredible. Got a PO box. Heaven knows I have 6 boxes of them. I wouldn't want to deprive you. I also don't have a PO box. I'd have to put my address right here on the internet, or send it to you via private message. Does that button work? Never works for me. Sometimes it does. Hellcast resin, not the Palace Rangers. You're hard to track down. I mean, yeah, without a name. You could just dox yourself again, Josh. I could do that. I could do that. We are... Should I set it up as an alert on Nightbot? Exclamation mark docs. Just put some of my details out there. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Good evening, Brendan. I'm looking forward to Shalaxi. I gave that to you for Christmas last year or year before. Yes, you did. And it's finally getting done. It's finally getting done. And Adam has sent me a box, which I haven't opened yet. But if it's what I think it is, it will complete the raft of greater demons. I just have to paint them. Well, I have to build them and paint them. But we shall find out. Thank you for your Stormcast Eternals devotion this year. You really inspired me to paint them, and it's been great fun. Oh, you're very welcome, Fake Street Spirit. It is my pleasure to paint anything Stormcast Eternals related, including why we did the Saviors of Cinderfall in the first place. There he is. It's a Stormcast, so of course I was going to do it. Now focus on me, camera. Thank you. Very, very well done. Any tips for the engine of the gods? I can certainly have a look. Engine of the gods. I should know this because I looked at it, but we shall see. Yeah, I think, like, if I was to do that, I would probably look at one of my sort of Death Guard tutorials. It's definitely a combination of Militarum Green and Creed Camo. Is definitely, I mean, it's what I've done on this, right? So the dark green here, up on these, is, well, so firstly, it's all covered in Gut Ripper flesh. The entire model, and then Militarum Green goes over the top of all the scales, blended into the green, and then Creed Camo over the top of that, blended into green, and then afterwards, that's Pterodon Turquoise, believe it or not, that's over the top of all that green. You wouldn't think it, would you? But that is Pterodon Turquoise that is over the top of that. So yeah, that's how I got that green, but if you stop a point before that, you get very close to this kind of thing. So if you look at my sort of Death Guard tutorials, it's usually a mixture of Militarum Green and Creed Camo, and I think there's usually some Nazdreg Yellow in there. But essentially, Creed Camo and Militarum Green will get you this kind of sort of reptilish green. And when you use them kind of as two layers or one after the other, or even as a mix, you get a really interesting, really interesting combination of color. So if you want, you can wait until this video comes out, which will be next week, to see that stage. Or, like I said, you can go and check out something like the Beast of Nurgle video, or indeed any of the Death Guard that I've done on the channel. Typhus, for example, would be one of those. Where were we? You guys are chatting away and I can't keep up. How do you prime with a spray can when it's cold outside? Very good question. You get the spray can, right? Turn on your hot tap, right? Turn on the hot tap. Let the water run until it's hot, right? And then run the. I used to fill up a bath, but actually it's quicker to do it with a running tap. Run the can underneath the hot tap, right? Circling like this. So let's use this my drink for a thing. So under a hot tap, run the can like that. Just keep the lid on, and you don't want the lid. This is where the paint is. So you run that under the hot tap like this, and just keep going for about 10 seconds, right? And you'll feel the can get hot. Give it a shake, and you'll feel it go cold because the paint's mixing. Keep doing that. Do that for about a minute. At intervals, so just like that until the can is warm through, and it'll get to the point where you shake it and the can will still be warm. That's where you're optimal. Then you can go and prime outside and it'll be fun. Josh, appreciate the content and community over the past year. Thank you for your efforts and bringing contrast painting into a frame that is easy to follow. I'm off to work, grumbles. Oh, I'm sorry you're off to work, No Name. Thank you so much for the super chat and for the gifted membership. So that's incredibly generous of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope it's not too bad at work. I hope it's not too bad for you. Seriously, thanks for everything in 2024. Your channel got me back into painting again. Truly an inspiration as a painter and a person. Thank you very much, Travis. That's very kind of you. But remember, the power was inside you all along. And now it's just me. How's the work on the Titan coming along, Josh? I haven't done anything on it since the last stream, but I will do it. So we've got another Me Time Monday. That'll be on Monday, funnily enough. I will do some Titan prep, some further Titan prep on Monday to round out the year. It's the Christmas time, it's the New Year period, and it's when we do Titan work. But obviously, it wasn't built in time for New Year's Day, which is why we'll be painting some tanks instead on New Year's Day. Are we doing a Christmas chat stream? We're doing New Year's Day. On Christmas, we won't be. I'm having some time off over Christmas. So yeah, there will not be a stream on Wednesday next week because that's Christmas Day. But there will be a stream on New Year's Day. Go Titan, go! Yeah, I mean that's the plan is to get the Titan done next year. 100%. Did a basilicanum grey Lamian medium wash over a silver and it seemed to form a skin like rice pudding and just came off. Do you have any idea what I might have done wrong? That's interesting, Grumpy Grez. Was it over... Forgive this slightly weird and stupid sounding question. Was it over primed silver or was it over painted silver? So did you brush on the silver or did you go straight over a prime? Did you prime it with like lead belcher or something? Thanks for all the MESBG videos this year. Yes, even General Targ. Have you seen the film now, Sir Strumming Fish? Because if you watch the film, I just feel bad for General Targ throughout the entirety of the film. And those who've seen it will understand what I mean. In that it's just like, would someone please listen to the man? Thank you, Josh, for a wonderful channel. Thank you, Tattooed Zoologist. I appreciate that. We try to keep things wonderful around here because miniature painting is wonderful, as is the community, as are all of you. You're all wonderful people, and you're lovely. And it's a crazy and wonderful world that we live in. That I get to meet such cool folks from all over the place, all over the globe. And we are all brought together by miniature painting, and just we have that all in common. It's great. Is that Italian Vedra in the case behind you? She is in the case behind me. She's down there. Up here, if that's who you're wondering, that's Aventus Firestrike, who will be moving to Legends in July. Which is why I would really, really like to go to an Age of Sigmar tournament before July so I could actually use that model. There's a video for that on the channel. No, there's no other videos for that on the channel. On YouTube. No one's done it. Well, I'm sure other people have, but like when I looked, I couldn't see any. It was just like how to paint a Taurolon, and I was like, I'm just going to do Aventus Firestrike. That's one of my unique things, one of my unique claims to fame. It's like how for ages I was the only channel on YouTube that had a video for all of the Greater Demons. Not the named ones, but all of the all 4 Greater Demons. Not even Warhammer themselves had that. It's not the same anymore, but I was like, yay! completing ranges, yay! I primed with black and used an airbrush of Vallejo metal colour steel for the silver. Right, okay. So what might be happening there is it's got too much of a, it's almost too glossy. So sometimes, and if you ever experience this with primers, right? For example, if you prime Custodes, for example, if you prime them gold, the primer is way more satin than a brushed on metallic. So what actually ends up happening is it becomes this kind of glassy finish, which is really, obviously it looks really nice, but when you apply contrast paint onto it, the contrast kind of beads up and moves over and doesn't kind of flow properly, and it kind of sits on top of it. It doesn't really absorb into the model. So I think what might have happened there is very something similar with the airbrushing of the silver primer, is that actually what's happened is it's become quite a satiny, glossy finish. And it's not created enough kind of, I think the right term is surface tension. I could be completely wrong there, but like it's not the contrast paint isn't really clinging onto it because it's too smooth, it's too glossy. So what I would recommend trying next time is get like not a stiff brush, but like get something like a decent like a round-headed dry brush or something, and just give the model a good like that sort of thing. Just really just kind of try and rub off some of that. It's basically like what happens if you try and apply paint to grease. Essentially, it's like oil and water. It's sitting on top. It's not moving in through the model, which is why it might have come a bit of a flaky, scrapey skin. So just give it a good buffing. You don't have to put any paint on it, but give it a good buffing with a brush, and that should help. Should. It might be that you just need to give it an actual dry brush of the same colour paint that you've airbrushed it on to try and help it have something to cling to. Surface tension is the right turn. Thank you. I want to see the cabbage. You can, Abdul. Here it is. Here is the cabbage. The cabbage is in all its glory. Oh, Google. There's this weird thing now where it just kind of runs out of memory and you end up with a... Oh, snap. Reload. I realised that was probably an autocorrect from Talia Vedra, but Italian Vedra is absolute gold. Yeah, no, I love it. That's why I didn't correct you. I just moved straight into it. Italian Vedra is perfect. Good evening, chat and Mr. Hipster. Good evening, Jungle Camper. Big shout out to Warhipster. Not really a 2024 thing, but painting Shyish purple and then Black Templar on top is my fave black ever. Thank you, Warhipster. You're awesome. Thank you very much, Pennywater. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's awesome. It's a cool recipe, right? It's nice. It's just the right level of black at times. I have moved over to Black Legion using shade paints, but those older ones, I really enjoy them using the Black Templar over the top of something else. It's kind of like Corvus Black. So that I think Black Legion and Null Oil to me is very similar to like a Baden Black or Chaos Black primer just on its own. Whereas using 2 layers of contrast paint for me is it's more like Corvus Black. And in the case of Shyish Purple and Black Templar, it would be like if Corvus Black had a purple hue. But there we go. Dear sir, I'm looking for a cheap way to shake my Citadel paints. Do you know if those cheap Vortex shakers or nail polish shaker or that green stuff shaker are any good, or just stick with handshake? Good question. The slight issue with those Vortex mixers, okay, is if you use them too much, and I assume you want to put it in as part of your daily work routine or weekly or whatever, part of your paint setup, right? Problem with the Vortex mixers is they can actually cause nerve damage, right? Because it puts a lot of stress here in your fingers where you hold it, and same in your wrist. So they're fine if you're going to use it very sparingly. But if you're not going to use it very sparingly and you're going to use it every day to mix a paint, I would avoid them because it's not good for your long-term health. And as Abdul has just said there, a massage gun does the same job. But arguably it does it a little bit better on a low setting because a massage gun has got a much wider vibration, basically. Because the vortex mixers are very narrow. It's meant for putting a test tube on. It's a very, very localized shake, which is why it's quite acute, and it's why it can, like I said, it can cause nerve damage in your knuckles, in your fingers and wrist. Which is why those massage guns are a little bit better, because it's got a wider vibrate function, basically. Another good tip, though. Another good tip, if you really want to shake something up, if you've got a washing machine that goes absolutely ham on the spin cycle, put your paints on that. That'll do it as well. Almost all 30k players have one because of the starter set. Can you make a Spartan Assault Tank tutorial, preferably Word Bearers or Alpha Legion, please? Spartan Word Bearers or Alpha Legion. Interesting. I'll think about it. I'll see what we go. Will there be a Warhipster movie? I mean, there's already a couple on the channel. I think anything that goes over an hour and a half is pretty much a movie, right? Saviors of Cinderfall might reach that. Big Bad Peter Gaming has been a member for 17 months. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bombardment! Bombardment, indeed. I don't know why my bombardment command hasn't started working. I'm not sure if that's because it takes a while for Nightbot to make it up or what. But at least we know. Maybe I'm dumb, but how do you use a massage gun to shake your paints? So you get a massage gun and you hold the paint on the top of it and do that, and it'll do it. Just remember, shake it more than twice and you're playing with it. So strumming fish is not wrong. Hey Josh, as always, thanks for your efforts. Thanks to you, I found a way to paint in between my day-to-day duties. If you don't mind, I want to paint my deathcore with black trench coats. Any tips? Yeah, I mean, I've got. If you check out my, there's a video on the channel which is the ultimate black armor guide. I think it's called. YouTube. Let's just go ultimate contrast black. It should come up. Yeah, the Ultimate Contrast Plus Black Armor Guide. Right. So this video, Dawudu. That video right there has 10 different recipes for painting black. Whichever one you think is best is the one for you. Remember to change the members target, Warhipster. Ah, good point, Cameron. What should we change it to? Should we just change it to 500? 500 members for Christmas. Let's just do that. Tale of many Warhipsters, cough cough. What are we... Wait, what was that in reference to? Should you shake your paint often? I shake a paint every time I use it. Not very much. a lot of my paints I use on a daily basis. So, like, you know, something like Black Legion, it doesn't need vigorous shaking every time I use it. But there are paints up on the shelf that haven't been used for a while. So it's just it's a case of like this iron breaker, right? Every time I get it and I'm about to use it, I go just like that. It doesn't need any more than that because I use it so often, so it's fine. Same for like Blood Angels Red. Use it all the time. Give it a good shake, and then we're done. A Tale of Many Warhipsters movies. I mean, we could try. It'd be a pretty boring movie for the general public. It's basically me getting up in the morning, putting a pack together, and then we do a stream. We used to do Tale of Many Warhipsters as pre-recorded, but it just worked better as a live stream. The very first, like, I think 6 or 7 episodes of it were pre-recordeds, and then we just moved it to live streams because it was better. And we haven't looked back since. All the streams back to back. That would be a long old video. YouTube does like it when you have longer videos these days. They do prefer that. Let me see how long it would be. Playlists. A Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2. That's the one we want. That's the one we want to see. Where has it gone? It's there. View full playlist. 2 hours, 5.5, 9, 12.5, 50, 16 and 15, 90. That's 20 hours. It's 20 hours and it's on episode 5. So that's going to be like a 48-hour long video. At least. Will you be posting a video of all the models painted in 2024 or any updated army showcase videos? What I will probably do is do what I did last year and make a short with a picture of all the models painted. You can now do them on YouTube up to 3 minutes, so I'll do a longer one than I did last year. That I think is probably what I'll do. But today is more of a kind of review, and I think there will be a couple of army showcases next year. I need to finish some armies, really. I need Games Workshop to stop releasing battle scroll updates with new points values for AOS, because I keep going from having these neatly designed 2,000 point armies to, oh yeah, by the way, now you have another 150 points. I'm like, God damn it. I want to be played by Danny DeVito or Keith Urban, preferably both, randomly intercut with no acknowledgement. Should we have like a moving facial feature as well, like in Robin Hood Men in Tights? Every single Warhipster video is a movie. Do you know how many videos that is? There's a lot of videos. We've got 6 more yet to come out this year. And according to YouTube, now this does include streams and shorts, but apparently we're on 1001 videos. Allegedly. I'm not making this up. You see there. Apparently, 1001 videos. That's annoying. I wonder what... I think this is number 1001. I mean, we'll see when this is over. It might be 1002. Which would mean that 1001 was Me Time Monday. Which would mean that video number 1000 was Rohan Houses. Oh, what a way to celebrate 1,000 videos, though. Quick delete one. I can't go deleting my videos. There you go. Yeah, it's just here. 1001 videos. Also, 11,507,793 views, which is an absolute mind-boggling number. It's ridiculous. But that 1001 does include videos, shorts, and live streams. So, I mean, and not all the live streams are, of course, painting videos. A lot of them are me talking, or, you know, stuff like Tale of Many Warhipsters or something like that. What do you think is longer, all of Warhipster or all of One Piece? One Piece probably edges it at the moment. I'd give it a good run, though. 20 minutes. If we just assume that 3 videos is an hour, I mean, then we have one here that's an hour long. But that's what I mean, is we started the year off. We started the year off here. Theoden King was where we started. And that was 40 minutes. Then I had a breakdown. And then we had Voldus, Tomb Kings. Then I complained about the Deathwing. Then we had Belial, the Deathwing Knights. This is the most popular video of the year, which makes me sad. I did a behind the scenes where I told you about all the stuff that I use. And then we had Usharan. There's my model of the year right there. 22k views. The Royal Decapitator, Grand Justice Gormain, Sekar, Abhorrent Cardinal, the modular terrain from Snot Goblin Gaming. We did a Saurus Astrolith Bearer as well. The Charnel Throne, Asmodai, the Inner Circle Companions, 10 Ghoulish Skin Recipes, Adeptus Custodes. We did the Galatus, Caladius, and 5 Guard, Cthulhu the Crone Seer, the Abhorrent Archregent, the Kroot, which I thought was one of the best army sets I'd ever seen in my life. I thought it was a gold standard for 40k, obviously, is what I said there. Gold standard for 40k going forward, Kroot Hunting Pack. It's because it was a cool box. It was a cool box. It had a new model kit in it. Several new model kits, but it had a new model unit in the form of the Krutox Rampagers, and, you know, the Shapers and stuff. But also it had that folio in for the Tau Codex with all the other bits and bobs in it, which was just really cool. It was a really neat little thing going forward. And then it dipped off a bit, and now it's back, and they do folios for everything. So clearly they listen to me. They only listen to me. So then we did all the Kroot. There we go. 10 Kroot Carnivore Flesh Recipes. It's the Skinnerkin, Brethren of the Bolt. We had Kill Team Nightmare and Pyre and Flood, the best named box of all times. Which when we saw the Nemesis Claw, which came close, 37k views. It was a very, very good video. The Idol of the Old Ones, the Mandrakes, the Dark Oath. They arrived too late, in my opinion, in the edition. The Generatorum Hub, the Dark Oath Wilder Fiend, or Wilder Fiend. Then we had the rest of the Kroot, Nighthawk Pyreghast, the Yggdraland Riverblades, the Kroot Trail Shaper, the Dark Oath Marauders, and Abraxia, Spear of the Everchosen. That model right there, 6 months ago. Kroot Hounds, Varangard. And this is where we then went into... this is where we had a month of nothing new, basically. We did the Varangard, the Breaker Boss, the Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur, the Spoilpox Scrivener. We did the second part to the Accursed Cultist video, not that anybody found it. I finished off a Hallowed Knights army, which then immediately got blown out of the water. The Beast Skewer Killbow, the Branch Witch, the Chaos Lord, the Chaos Chariot. We did the Barak Mornar, we did the Arcanaut Company, the Arcanaut Frigate, the Endrin Riggers, and Sky Wardens. That was all part of Project Spearhead. And then we have Hallowed Knights, Skaven Tide is what happened. We did the Daughters of Cain Spearhead as well. We did that in this year. The Warlocks, was all of Skaven Tide basically. Everyone's favourite video in the world. That's a pretty good video, 41k views. It's popular. All of Skaven Tide, including the Spearhead terrain. And then we had a kind of lull for a bit. So I did these, this was my last commission, and then we had the Blood Angels where I got really sad. And then MESBG returned to the channel 3 months ago with Aeoner, the last King of Gondor, the Knights of Arnor, the Werewolves of Angmar, and Aranarth and Argadir. Have you done the Seraphon Spearhead? I have. All of the components of it are on the channel. So the Carnosaur, the Croxagore, and the Saurus Warriors, they're all here on YouTube. You can see them all. After that, the Vermin Doom was arrived with the Skaven, Vizek Scour, the Brood Terror, Kritok Foulblade, the Master Moulder, the Arch Warlock, the Warlock Galvaneer, 10 Skaven Storm Vermin, the Acolyte Globadiers, and then the Hive Storm stuff dropped with the Vespid Stingwings, the Tempestus Aquilons. I left the house for the first time in the year to go and play Defenders of Avarax with Adam and Reza and Alice. And if everybody in the chat could send some love to Alice, she's not feeling very well. She's got really bad flu at the moment. Bless her. So lots of love in the chat, please, for Alice. But yeah, Tempestus Aquilons, Hive Storm terrain in 6 hours or less. Did all of it. And then we had more rubbish Blood Angels. Sanguinary Priest, the Blood Angels Captain, the Sanguinor, the Sanguinary Guard. And then we had the rest of the Ruination Chamber in the form of Iridan the Witness, Taunus the Redeemed, the Stormreach Portal, the Lord Relictor, the new Lord Celestant, the new Lord Terminos, the Hammers of Sigmar, Stormstrike Paladors. Excuse me. We have some more Reclusians, Chief Librarian Togurius, the White King on Skeletal Steed, Ember Watch, Zicket's Tunnel Pack. This was all last month. Chin Shah, the Master of the Keshig, Vandus Hammerhand. I painted a custom chapter of Space Marines, the first time I've done that in a very, very long time. Zarketh, the Bane of Law, Grandfather's Gardeners, Jaws of Itzel. And that takes us up to the last kind of 2 weeks in the form of the War of the Rohirrim and Brutal and Cunning. That's where we're at. So, sounds like you're listing off the 12 days of Warhipster. That kind of is it. Your channel is the best contrast painting channel, no competition. That's not strictly true. True, Abdul. That's very kind of you to say. But it's not strictly true. Because we all know, and I think most people here would agree, that the best contrast painter in the world is Juan Hidalgo. There's no question of that. He is the Evi contrast, the father of Evi contrast. But I like to think I'm in a sort of second or third place behind him. That's where I like to believe I sit around there. But obviously, that's up to you guys at home. Only you guys can decide the order of the best YouTubers. That or somebody else on the internet can make a list. And do you know what? I'm really, really sad that I didn't make it onto that list of of woke YouTubers. I'm really sad I didn't get on there. I'll have to do better. Juan is great, but I find your videos more approachable. Oh, thank you, William. You follow box art, others don't. No, that's true. Other people don't generally tend to do that. No, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to paint a model, is there? So, you know. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder and all that. What list? There was a list. Somebody made a list on Twitter about woke YouTubers. And people who were not woke, and therefore they were the good ones to watch. And I wasn't mentioned anywhere on that list, which I was just sad. I was like, oh, I've not made it yet. But one day. Os, thank you so much for becoming a member. That is very kind of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Puts us on 482. We are a mere 18 members away from a 500. That's a strong reaction there, Adam. As we, one thing I do love is finding somebody doing something interesting with contrast, and finding their videos and they're doing stuff with contrast paint, and I feel like it's because of my channel and Juan, to name but a few, that other people are able to make more stuff now. I see more and more people doing stuff with contrast paint now that I think finally people have just moved on from the "it's the worst thing ever" vibe, which now arguably means that there's no point in my existence, right? That was the whole point behind the channel in the first place. However, my entire livelihood is based on YouTube now, so we're never going to leave this behind. You're going to do this till you're 90. Michael Griffith, thank you very much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I like to think it's because of us kind of putting the work in the early days that now there's lots of people out there doing really cool stuff with it. The only person I can think of at the moment is Darcy Bono. She does some really cool stuff with contrast paints. I really like her stuff. I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it. Do check her out, because like I said, she does some really cool stuff with contrast paints, and it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see more people. Stuart from Miniature Realms is also cool. I haven't seen. Have I seen? Maybe I have. I think I have, actually. Matt's Hobby Hour. His channel is great. Yeah, I mean, recommend your favourite channels here. Please do, always. Always share. A rising tide raises all ships, or whatever the hell they say. whatever that saying is. But always make sure you watch a Warhipster stream and you subscribe to me. Please. I use her recipe for rat tails. Yeah, she's great. The banners video. Yeah, no, it is absolutely fantastic. And I ripped it off for the storm vermin. And I said so in the video, so that's fine. I didn't just nick it and pretend I came up with it. Sledgehammer Studio. Sonic Sledgehammer. Yeah, Sonic Sledgehammer's great. How I paint things. It's great. Such a good idea. Sounds stupid, but it's such a great idea for a video series. Because it means you can just do whatever you want, right? That's where I kind of, like... So whenever I put out a Sylvaneth video, you'll notice it's called How I Paint Sylvaneth. And it's because I'm not doing them box art. So in that instance, I'm teaching you how I do it for my thing, whereas for other things like General Targ, for example, or like Gordrak, right? How to paint Gordrak is how to paint Gordrak. If I did him a completely different colour, you're not painting Gordrak, is my view on it sometimes. So I'm like, I do how to paint when I'm painting box art, and I do how I paint when I'm doing my own thing. I like this guy called Warhipster. He is quite good. I've heard he's all right. Yeah, Thomas. I've heard he's okay. Hello, just finished work. Yay! Yay indeed, Sidewinder. Woo! Can't wait to crack into the Scaventide box over Christmas, and thank you in advance for the video tutorials, and my kids and I salute you, sir. I salute you back. I won't do one, because I get told off when I do it, because I always do it wrong. I can do it for the organisation I belong to, which was the Scouts. I can do that. I promise to do my best. One Piece is 23 days and 9 hours, so I reckon you're close, or maybe even more. Well, I can tell you that this year, if I go to the analytics section, we go here and we look at oh no, we had it right there. No, go here and go videos and go oh no, if I do it here and click on that and go 2024, people have watched my videos this year for 409.3 thousand hours. It's a lot of hours. The exact figure is 409,311 hours of my content was consumed this year. And there were 2 noticeable spikes in Skaven, Clan Rats, and Deathwing Knights. Very noticeable spikes. So those are clearly the 2 most popular videos of the year. Clan Rats and Deathwing Knights. That's not bad. I think I'm 89% of your Talia views. Thank you. It's a good video, that one. She's a good model, Talia Vedra. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed painting her. It's been a good year. It's been an interesting year because I think like the quality of AOS has been, as always, just top tier. We've just had great AOS content all year, throughout the year as well. And sometimes you go through a little bit of a kind of like, it can feel a little bit like a barren wasteland for AOS. It's particularly in third. There was times where like they were doing those faction versus faction boxes, which they don't seem to do them now anymore, which I think is a good thing. But it was stuff like Arcane Cataclysm is the one I always point to. Arcane Cataclysm came out, and it had the Cenarian Lightener and the Curseling. And that's it. It's the only thing that's new in there. The Curseling's a great model, and I think it should have come out on its own at the time. Obviously, it's out on its own now. But so my point is that at time for great periods of third edition Age of Sigmar, you were getting the faction boxes, and you were getting like a hero here, a hero there, a hero here, a hero there. Like the Lord of Hubris, great model. But Lord of Hubris came out alongside the Realm Gore Ritualist, which wasn't a great model, let's be fair. It's okay, it's a bit strange within the sort of Blades of Khorne army. But my point being is that third edition, for a while, it was kind of like, it felt a bit like a barren wasteland, whereas this year, it's been just like consistently great. Every AOS release that has come and gone this year. particularly with the, you know, Regiments of Renown boxes that were happening. So like Abraxia and stuff like that. There's absolutely fantastic models. And the tail end of last year, you had Ionis Cryptborn, you had Talia Vedra, you had Trug, the Troggoth King. You had all of that. Loads of great models. This year has been slightly weird in that AOS has done really well all year, but 40k has not done very well at all. And I think that's in part due to there just not being very much for the factions that have come out. And in order to try and kind of keep the interest for a lot of the factions, they've been released in those Battle Force boxes, which of course they don't send out to content creators like myself. So there are weekends where it's all about the, for example, the Custodes release, and I haven't got the captain to paint, so I've had to come up with something else and do something else during that time. So when it's been a little bit boring, like 40k has in the last year, it's been a slightly strange time in that you kind of being like, you know, I mean, I love Age of Sigmar, but if you're a 40k fan and you don't care about Sigmar, it can have felt a little bit like a weak year, and I think it probably has been. I think Games Workshop, if they were being really honest with themselves, would say it has been a bit of a clean-up year, because it's all been like redesigned models and slightly taller versions of the older ones, and that's clearly going to continue into the next year. But at least like they ended this year with a bang with the preview of the Krieg and the Eldar. And whilst I'm much more excited for the Krieg than I am for the Eldar, because the Eldar is a lot of reskins, the Krieg is a plastic version of a formerly extremely expensive set of models. And there's some new stuff thrown in there as well, and that's very exciting. And I love the Astra Militarum, and they're probably the army that I think would maybe get me excited to play 40k if I could get together a really good Astra Militarum collection. What Soulblight Gravelords model is a good starting point in terms of painting style? A good model to start with. It's interesting because they're kind of... Soulblight Gravelords are a funny one in that you don't really have actually that many vampires in Soulblight Gravelords. There are the Blood Knights and there's all the characters. And then there's the Eskurgan Trueblades. But the majority of your army is going to be things like Death Rattle Skeletons and Fellbats and Corpse Hounds and stuff like that. So you kind of have this kind of two-pronged approach, right? You could pick up like a White King on foot and practice him to do all of your skelly bobs. And you could also pick up a Vampire Lord. And the Vampire Lord could be what you use to practice doing your Blood Knights. Crimson Court is a good shout there, Simon74. I think another good shout is, if you haven't already, you can also try and find a copy of Cursed City. That's got pretty much everything you would ever need to paint an entire Soulblight army, other than like big monsters. But you would learn a lot by painting the Cursed City stuff. And of course, you're then well on the way to having a Soulblight Gravelord's army. Italian Vedra. Sorry, yes. Italia Vedra. Sorry. I apologize. I hope you'll paint many Primarchs next year. Well, you can certainly try. Hello, Chewy. Whenever I'm doing something else, I just leave your videos to play in the background. Well, that's very kind of you, Sync Noodles. Thank you. Sue, says Reza. Hello, Reza. Thanks a lot for the amazing painting guides. Thanks to you, I can truly enjoy my hobby, says Os. thanks to you, I feel good. One of your first videos I watched was a Cursed City Wraith on a plinth tutorial. There you go. Cursed City, man. Again, slight claim to fame. Still the only channel on YouTube that has a tutorial for everything that's in Cursed City. And yes, it is all only contrast 1. There's no the second way with contrast paints, which would have made some parts of that possibly easier. We can only speculate. But I was the only one who kept going after all the controversy with it when it first came out. I was the only one who stuck with it. James Zalman, hello. Speaking of Primarchs, can't wait for new Fulgrim and your video to help me. Yep, it's on its way. Well, I haven't started it yet, but it's on its way. Fulgrim's fully transitioned over to that I'm next, baby. Not quite. Fulgrim, well, Shalaxi Hellbane, then Fulgrim. You know, there's a universe where I'm all done with him by the end of Sunday. And then I shall put my feet up and relax for about 48 hours. And then it's right back to it, baby. Because I've built the next spearhead. I don't know, I'm not sure if I told you guys this. I can't remember. Anyway, I built the next spearhead for Project Spearhead. Funnily enough, hence why we're doing Gorra, really. But like, I built the War Boss, Mega Boss, and I built the Brutes. So we're gonna get all that done as well at some point very soon. Because I was like, that'll be an easy one to do. Just a Mega Boss and 5 Brutes. That won't be too hard. So there will be Project Spearhead shall continue. It will never die until we're all out of them. I ought to get some Dark Oath Savages as well, because then I can do the Dark Oath one. But that's a thing for another time. I think my first video of yours was the 10 different cloaks vid, as I was trying to decipher what the difference between Black Legion and Black Templar was when it came out. That makes sense. Do you sell any signed pictures? Need a gift for my brother? I don't. Is your brother into Warhammer, or just, here's a guy? Is the Mega Boss bigger than the Cabbage Rider? Oh, no. Gordrak's bigger than the Mega Boss. Are you going to paint them in the yellow armor or a different colour? I will probably... I suppose I could do them in something different, maybe. I don't know. The rest of my spearhead is in yellow. Probably yellow. I'll probably do them in yellow, to be honest. Or we could go for like a... what's you call it? Like a Warhammer Fantasy Battles Black Orcs inspired scheme. Make them look proper menacing in like metallic black armor, maybe. With a bit of yellow here and there. Rather than yellow with a bit of black, do black with a tiny bit of yellow. I don't know. How many spearheads have you done, Josh? Great question. I have to now look it up, because I can't remember, is the question. Is the answer. Spearhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be number 14 if I finish it. Yeah, 14. And I have videos for 15, because I did the Lumineth Realm Lords. All of the videos for that are available. Yeah. Yeah, 15. I do own the Soulblight Gravelords, Fire Slayers, Hedonites of Slaanesh, and I think Gloomspite. So what's that? 15, 16, 17, 18? 18, something like that? My wife says, when are you going to paint the bloody shark? I need to... Yeah, this Ideneth is the one that comes up more often than not as to why I haven't done it. And the oh, I've cut my leg. That's fun. I have no idea how I've managed to do that, but oh. That was stupid. Anyway, yeah, the Ideneth, yes. So basically, my plan is to do some Ideneth when I know the Ideneth Battle Tome is coming out. Basically, that is my intention. Do you have any plans for manifestations and faction terrains? Yeah, as it kind of comes up, I'll do some stuff here and there. I did the Stormreach portal, for example. My first video of yours was 24-hour Sylvaneth. Ah, yeah. 24-hour Sylvaneth. The first of the 24-hour challenges. That was a good one. I do want to do another one. I haven't kind of figured out what it is I want to do with it. Like we've done 3, 2 of which were streamed, and one which no, we've done 4. We did the Daughters of Cain Spearhead, Legions Imperialis core box, the Warhound Titan, which was streamed, and the Sylvaneth Army, which was also streamed. I do want to do another one. It's just figuring out the project to do is the question. Because there's like I have lots of ideas about stuff I could do, and then it's like, yeah, but that would be really, really hard and awful. So like I thought about doing one earlier this year with everything I own that's Chaos Space Marines, but it's Chaos Space Marines. That's a whole lot of trim, and like it'll take me 24 hours just to paint 10 lots of tactical marine Chaos Legionaries. So it's like how long would the Krieg launch box take? What's in it? It's 10 Death Riders, 5 Engineer Grenadiers, whatever they are, and then Grand Marshal hand dryer, and a big cannon. It would take me longer than 24 hours to do it. Only because I've also got to figure out the bloody schemes, you know. And I got to do it properly. Mediocre hobbies. You're the only content creator who makes me feel I don't do enough. Well, you do more than enough. You do more than enough. Many would argue I do too much. A lot of people in the chat would say I do too much, and they would be true. They would be. That would be correct. I'm going to do less next year, if that helps you. I say this, and we'll probably still hit 600. Because Games Workshop will be like, hey, we're sending out loads of MESBG video stuff. So we're going to send you like this box that has 24 of the new blah blah blahs. And you go, sick. and there we go. We're already off to the races. I need to get some sleep as I have a shift that starts at 5 a.m. Have a good rest of stream. I hope you have an okay shift tomorrow, Blethen. I'm sure you will. Good question. 2k points of Krieg. No, I can't. No. I haven't figured out the I haven't figured out the scheme yet for the Krieg. But I will. It's going to be the 5th Siege Regiment. And I've already kind of figured it out in my head. The coats are going to be... I haven't figured it out. Here's the recipe. The coats are going to be Cygor brown, and they're going to be shaded with Reichland flesh shade, much like we did with the Warriors of Rohan. The trousers are going to be Rattling Grime, because that's the 5th Siege Regiment, right? It's that sort of dirty brown grey for the trousers, and then a really kind of warm brown for the coats. And then we're going to kind of go for I think either. I'm pretty certain it's like a really dark, almost black metal for like the helmet and the like the shoulders. So we're gonna do that, and then like all of the like the I can't remember the word for it, but like the wraps they have on their ankles and calves, basically just Agrax Earthshade. Done. Job's a good one. So I've figured it out mostly, but like as for the Death Riders, again, not entirely sure, but it does kind of feel like when I look at them, we're going to go for Seraphim Sepia or Mortarian Grime, depends on whether we want them to look healthy or sick, and then use like Caribou Crimson for like the stamp on the flank and the that sort of pinkiness coming up the legs and stuff. And then, of course, we just paint the guys on the back with the same colours as the 5th Siege Regiment. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Krieg. But on New Year's Day, I mean, we're pretty much going to start a Krieg project with the tanks. We're going to do some tanks. We've got a Baneblade that should be arriving tomorrow, maybe. And I did buy some Lehman Russ. I did do it. I was going to buy a Rogel Dawn as well, but I ran out of money. So I was just like, nah, can't do that. How about pink armor recipe for Emperor's Children? They are coming. I have something that's the problem. The thing we don't know yet is what they're going to show it off as in terms of how it's painted. So if you saw the Eldari Codex release, the cover, that there's an Emperor's Children Space Marine that's on the front being beaten up by some Eldar, and it's not pink. So I need to see what colour they're going to paint it before I decide like what the colour is. Because I prefer purple. I prefer the purple of it. But we do have an option here. There we go. So we have an option here in the form of this guy. This lady. So there's a couple of different options there. So there's that cloak, or there's her tabard. So there's two different options we can kind of go for there. But then what I've also done in the past is I don't know where he is. Saul Tarvitz is in here somewhere. Ah, he's there. Ah. So there's Saul Tarvitz. So I really like this purple. So I have no idea what Games Workshop is going to paint their Emperor's Children stuff when it comes out. We'll just have to see. Have you ever done a Tyranid in the green Forge World paint scheme, like how the Hierophant is painted? What is that one? A Hierophant. Tyranid. Let me look. That's kind of like High Fleet Gorgon, is it? Is it Gorgon? Yeah. It's kind of like High Fleet Gorgon. I mean, with that one, it's got a lot more kind of dark green that's going on the Hierophant's thingamabob. What's it? What am I talking about? Carapace. But yeah, I've done a video on High Fleet Gorgon. On a Termagant. Have you ever done a Tyranid? Yeah. Yeah. So to not answer your question about Emperor's Children, I don't know the answer to that yet. We have to wait and see what colour they paint theirs. I don't think we'll have to wait long though. I think we'll see a painted model before too long. We might even see one on Christmas Day. Who knows? Baneblade after I tackle mine for Tale of Many Warhipsters. Guess I inspired you. You did. Also, the chat really wanted it. They wanted a Krieg Baneblade. So I know what I'm going to do for that. I bought a ton of blue tack. I'm going to be using Hyrax Brown and the other shade. I can't remember what it's called. It's two primers basically to create what can be used either as a desert scheme or as a 5th Siege Regiment tanks scheme basically. He does too much, he needs breaks. Thanks, Reza. I do too much. Christmas Day was Dark Angels last year, I think. Yeah, something like that. They announced something, I can't remember. They usually announce something. They'll just be like, hey, have you seen this? Any New Year's Eve plans? Getting ready for New Year's Day stream. Your first Baneblade? No, it is my second Baneblade. I did a Baneblade a long time ago. I will find a picture of it. No, not there. Which albums? Yeah, there we go. I wonder if I search in here, if it will find a Baneblade. It did. Yeah, okay. I get it. Well done. Oh, for God's sake. Right. It's going to make me scroll. Baneblade. There we go. And it's not a very good picture, but... So the Baneblade I painted before... was this one. And it was a very, like... I went for, like, this kind of stippled grey thing. And it was called The Thunder Child, because I was going through something. 2018, that was when it was. And this is when I was playing... This is my last guard army. So, a couple of Devil Dogs. A Salamander Command Tank, that's what that is. And a Trojan Support Vehicle. So, it was very much of its time. And we have a Lehman Russ back there, and a couple of other things. But there we go. That was the very first Baneblade. I might call this one the Thunder Child as well. But yeah, I was going through a War of the Worlds theme, and so I had Thunder Child in the form of the Baneblade. We had Forever Autumn and the Spirit of Man as well, because I was just very into my life would be forever autumn, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, they say. There you have it. So I'm going to be doing something very different this time. But like I said, I bought a lot of blue tack in order to mask it. So we're going to prime it. We're going to prime it either in the dark brown or the light brown. I haven't decided yet. Either works. And then we will overspray once we've put the Black Templar on to mask it off. What about Archaon? Archaon we've done. Archaon has a video here on the YouTube channel. You can find it already. That's the biggest model I've ever painted. It is in here. It's down there. Because it's bigger. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the Warhound Titan. But someday we'll paint the Warlord Titan, which will be the biggest model, and it will stay that way for a I'll stay that way forever, pretty much. Unless Games Workshop releases like a Nemesis Warbringer or something, and no, not a Nemesis Warbringer, the other one that's in Imperialis, the really big one. Have you decided on number 598 and 599, Warhipster? Yes. Number 598 is in progress right now. Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. There he is. And number 599 is Shalaxi Hellbane, who I haven't started yet. I shall start Shalaxi Hellbane after I finish this. So theoretically, if I finish this tonight, or tomorrow morning, although tomorrow morning I've got to edit the Wrecker Mob and the Ratlings. Warmaster. Thank you, Peter. The Warmaster Iconoclast. After this, it's Shalaxi. Then once Shalaxi's done, it's on to Fulgrim. But I might be starting Shalaxi tomorrow, depending on how this goes. We shall have to see. And then we'll hit 600, and everything will be right with the world. And then we'll never do it again until next year. Well, we might do it again. But not because I'm aiming for it. It was my goal to get to 600 this year. Which is why we're doing this. Will you paint the new Dunland heroes from MESBG, Frecker and Thorn? Yeah, they're in the plan to do. It'll be early next year if it's going to happen. Depends on time. But once we hit 600, it's time to stop. But yeah, I hope to have. At the moment, my time is kind of allocated to be finishing him, then Shalaxi over Thursday, Friday, and then Fulgrim to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday if he needs it. And then it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And that's where I will take some time to step away from the painting desk and enjoy the festive period. But then, of course, we're right back to it. Let's go. The new year is only around the corner at that point. But there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 13, 14, 13 days, basically, left of the year. 13 days to paint 3 models. What could possibly go wrong? The 2025 challenge is going to be to stop vaping. That's a good point. I think I might be joining you in that, Sink Noodles. Unless you're just saying that as advice for me, in which case, yeah, okay, I know. I think, like, next year I would like... I mean, so next year we hope to... We hope to move next year. And if that does happen next year, then one of my goals has been for ages is to do battle reports. So there's kind of a provision, there's a conditional goal in that if we do manage to move, that we move into a space where I'm capable of filming said battle reports. And I want to do an AOS one, an MESBG one, and a 40k one. And of course, as we talked about before on the channel, I would really like next year to do an apocalyptic sized AOS battle. So that is that was kind of the plan this year, but that didn't work out because the space just doesn't work for it. So we'll have to see. Mini Painting Dad, thank you very much for the 10 gifted Warhipster memberships. You absolute bloody legend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This is on 493. Thinking of staying local, staying in the same area, or somewhere else? We don't know yet. It could be anywhere, really. We've kind of got this. We've got this large search area. It's like a big rectangle, basically, which sort of starts at Nottingham and ends at Southsea. This is a huge part of the country. Uh, so it's a quite a wide search area, but like it all depends on the house and what we can afford. We don't know yet, but we're hoping to get it done next year. And so if that is the case, then we will hopefully, fingers crossed, we will we'll get battle reports up and running on the channel, which would be absolutely monumental and wonderful. Adam with the £20 super chat. A carol for you. God rest ye, merry Warhipster. Let nothing you dismay. Remember not to paint models and chill on Christmas Day, to save all your painting power for the next model in play. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. I love it. I love it. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much, Adam. And also, you really ought to have become a creative, Adam. I know you think you enjoy being a lawyer, but really you ought to become a writer or something. I've always thought that. You're too damn creative and talented for your own good, buddy. Do you live in the city? I live in Cheltenham currently. Cheltenham Spa, which is in Gloucestershire, which is next to the River Severn, which is next to Wales. So I live on the opposite side of the country, basically, to London. It's a 2-hour train journey to get to London from where I am now. Are all your tutorials videos in real time? Pretty much, yeah. I cut them because otherwise they would be really long. But no, I don't speed anything up or slow anything down. It's just I film it and I film it as I go. But you know, like I said, if you see me do a thing where like I blend for like 5 minutes, yeah, that is all done in real time. But the models do take a little bit longer than the 40-minute video or whatever the video is. Especially if it's something like Gorra, right? That's taken me 9 hours. If it was real time, then the video would be... And it's not finished yet, so the video would be like 16, 17 hours long, which is just too long to enjoy. There's a lot of silence, basically. I love your painting tutorials. You gave me courage to start painting my Chaos Lord on Carcadrak. Oh, thank you, War Judge. How's it going? Fingers crossed for a more local hipster for me in 2025 then. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, we don't 100% know where we're going to go yet. It will be kind of dependent on Alice's job more so than anything because of, you know, whatever she's required to do. I can do my job pretty much anywhere because as long as I've got a, you know, as long as I've got a camera and a quiet room, I can, well, and the models and the paints, and there's a lot of equipment. In fact, you know, I can't just do it anywhere. I have to do it in my room. But I can set my studio up anywhere, pretty much. We just have to have a decent internet connection, really, is all. So it's kind of dependent on her and her job and what's required of her. So whether or not she's, you know, going to be in office enough, or if she's going to be more remote, or whatever, it's kind of dependent on that. So we'll have to see. But we could be moving to Bristol. We could move to Nottingham. Could move to Swindon. Could be moving to Salisbury, Southampton. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know 100% yet. But we will know next year. And if it's not next year, then it will definitely be the year after. Though it really has to be next year, because otherwise I'm going to have to basically sell every miniature I own. If we have another year where I paint sort of 500, 600 models, it's going to be too much. It's safe to say it will not look anywhere as cool as Josh's, but at least I got the courage to start painting it following Josh's video step by step. War Judge, it will look as cool as mine because it will be painted. It will be painted. And that's what makes it cool. I've heard good things about Southampton. Well, one good thing. That's about it. Yeah, I've heard one good thing about... I mean, I've been there. I've had one good weekend there. And it wasn't a weekend. Oh, God. Norwich. I mean, it's a possibility, Norwich, but, like, it's nowhere near Alice's job. That's too far. It depends on what... Again, it depends on her. It depends on where we're going, really, for her. Thank you for the kind words and for all your content. You motivate me. That's what I try to do. I am the motivator. And the inspirator. Josh is famously big in pedestrianised town centres. Yeah, famously so. I need to move somewhere where there's a heavy concentration of Warhammer hobbyists. So then they can stop me in the street and they can ask me, how do you paint your models? And I'll say, youtube.com/Warhipster. You already know. I put it all on the internet. There are no secrets here. Yeah, Nottingham is a possibility. I like Nottingham. I love Nottingham. I love it as a place to live. Well, I love it as a place to be, and I really like the city. I did say to Alice that anywhere further than north than that is probably not for now. Like I lived in Leeds for a good few years, and I loved it. I loved living in Leeds, and I would move back there, but not yet. Not for a while. That comes up more often than you'd think, Sink Noodles. Joe does it all the time. I found the Necron playlist online, went straight to the Warhammer shop and spent about £70 on the paints you used. Particularly excited to paint Imhotep and the Void Dragon. Please do a monolith tutorial. A monolith tutorial. The monolith is quite a serious undertaking. Maybe one day, Warcash. Maybe one day. But thank you. I hope you enjoy them. Void Dragon's a particularly fun one to do. I think Reza used my... Maybe. Oh, no, he did his before mine. So I copied Reza more than anything. It is one of the better Necron videos I've ever done. I enjoyed doing the Void Dragon. It's quite a quick one to do. Greetings from Canada, Josh. Still using your Kroot painting guides as I work through my backlog of Tau. Can't wait to get to the Vespids from Kill Team. I always forget about the Vespids this year. That was a really fun video to put together because it was one of those ones where I was doing the orange and I thought I'm going to have to highlight these for the rest of my life. And then I just went, actually, these don't need any highlights whatsoever. So that's what's so fun about them, was it was just like, oh, do the Gryph-hound orange, do the Gryph-hound orange. Huh, that looks pretty good already. Maybe we just do that. Lol, never true. Hey, Rez, if you paint something before I do and then I make a video about it, I almost definitely copied you. You know this. You know the rules. That's how we work. To paraphrase what Alice said, you know, earlier to me, she said, "You're the power from the bottom of the throne." Now remove some of those words. That's what Reza does. You know, which was an interesting thing to hear from my partner. I've been trying to find a monolith tutorial and can't find one. Yeah, it's because it's such a mighty model. Genuinely enjoying the Club Warhipster Irish meetup in chat too. Legends, War Judge and Sick Noodles Gaming. Yeah, see, this is what we do at Warhipster, is we bring people together. And you didn't even realise that's how you were getting together, but you're here in chat and you're like, oh my goodness me. When you have cracks in figures where parts join, how do you fill them? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, Steve. I'm a terrible modeller and therefore don't do it. What I generally tend to do is pick a similar colour and just paint down it. Is usually what I end up doing. If there's a really obvious gap. Now what you can of course do is you can use any kind of thing, like do it before it's primed using like green stuff. Liquid green stuff is good for a small gap. More hefty stuff, the other thing is better if it's a proper gap. You just use that to fill the gap and it will do it absolutely no problem. You can use things like milliput. You can use something called sprue goo, I believe. You can make your own sprue goo. I've just realized the sentence I just said. Let's move past that. I generally, because I'm, like I said, I'm a terrible modeler, I generally don't fill gaps. But when I have done it in the past, like the twice that I've done it, I used liquid green stuff to do it. Fill it with paint. Yeah, so like, what's a good example? Have I got one? On the Saviours of Cinderfall, maybe? Yeah, sometimes you can find like a similar base coat for what you've done on the contrast paint, and you can just like paint that along the crack and it will fill it, no problem. Like, it won't look like there's a crack, basically. It's generally how I get away with a lot of it. But people will point out in the comments when I do leave a gap, and they will not be nice about it. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. They can do whatever they like. You can do whatever you like. Live. I'm trying to paint the Stormcast Eternal from Saviours. Yeah, I think mine... Yeah, mine has a bit of a crack in it. It's not particularly noticeable. They don't bother me as much as it does other people. But yeah, just a little bit of liquid green stuff. You can just use that, put it down the crack, and just smooth it out on either side, and it'll fill it, no problem. It'll smooth it out. It's just, for me, I just generally don't have time to do it. because I move on to the next model as quickly, and also because I can't be bothered. In my case, it's usually because I'm lazy when it comes to building. I just want the building to be over. Is pretty much how I roll. But yeah. Anyway, guys, it is now 10:30 p.m., which means it is time for us to conclude our final Wednesday stream of the year. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to every single person who's hung out tonight, every single person who watches the streams on demand, every single person who's watched any of my videos this year. Your support has been absolutely breathtaking and absolutely phenomenal, and this year has been incredible for, just quality of life over here at games at Warhipster Towers. It's been absolutely amazing, and it has proved that if you put in the work, you can eventually get to the place where you want to get to, and I am in that place, and I feel very privileged and very proud and very fulfilled by the year that was 2024, and I look forward to continuing to conquer the globe as the contrast painter you all know and love, and it is only with you guys at home that any of this is indeed possible at all whatsoever. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything you give, everything you do, every way you support, every comment, every like, every view, every single super chat, every single membership, every single gifted membership, every single Patreon subscriber, every PayPal donation, anything. Just thank you so much for all of it, because you keep these lights on, and you keep these hands working, and you keep these models being painted and videos coming out. And like I said, it is a age-old cliche that every single YouTuber says this, but it is true. Without you, these channels, like mine, like any of the others that you watch out there and support, they don't exist without you guys. So as much as you might think that any of the stuff that I produce is a testament to my talent, is actually a testament to the wonderful community that's out there, and that that our tribe has brought together. So honestly, thank you so much for what has been an amazing 2024. I hope that in the next 2 weeks we will pick up 199 more friends to add to the family and get to 75,000. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. I'll be very happy regardless of what happens, because it's been incredible. It's honestly, it's quite hard to fathom sometimes. And as you all know, I deal with things like imposter syndrome on a daily basis, and generally just, don't quite understand what it is that has drawn so many good-natured, wonderful folks to this channel and this part of the YouTube world. But it's not for me to figure out the answer to that question. It's only for me to enjoy it whilst it continues, and to continue giving back to all of you who give so much to me. So honestly, thank you so much for everything. 2024, absolutely barnstorming year for Warhipster, not necessarily for Warhammer 40k. Can't resist getting another dig in there on a Wednesday. We might even get some more in there on Monday. Who knows? But there is one more live stream to come. So there will be a live stream on Monday. We will be back with a Me Time Monday, the last Me Time Monday of 2024. And there are 6 more videos for the year to come out. And 3 of them I haven't even finished yet. But tomorrow, and you can tell me now in the chat actually, which one you would prefer to see tomorrow. Is it the Wrecker Mob or the Ratlings? I will edit both. But the choice is yours, everybody out there. Ilka, thank you very much. Warhipster is best painting channel on YouTube. Member for 8 months. Incredible. Amazing. Saviors of Cinderfall. No, I need to... They're not yet. we got to get the Wrecker Mob and the Ratlings out first. But next week, Christmas week, Saviors of Cinderfall. We could even drop that on Tuesday. That could happen on Tuesdays. Oh, it's simple. Wreck a Mob. Okay, you guys want to see the Wreck a Mob. Wreck a Mob it shall be. Okay, so Wreck a Mob video will come out tomorrow. And the Ren the Rattlings will be on Saturday. And then Saviours of Cinderfall on Tuesday. We've got to get it done. We've got to get the sponsored content out first. But there we go. So thank you. Surely the Saviour arrives on Christmas Day, or something. Yeah, maybe we could put it out on Christmas Day. I might put a great painting video out on Christmas Day. Who knows? Maybe we'll put Fulgrim. Maybe we'll put it out. Fulgrim Transfigured out on Wednesday. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. So, just as a final, as I've already said, I've waxed lyrical just about how brilliant, beautiful, and wonderful, generous, and gorgeous all of you are out there. You genuinely are, and I appreciate everything and everything you do, everybody and everything that you do. You're just great. I don't know if anybody needed to hear that today, but if you did, you're welcome. It's up. I needed to tell you because you're amazing and you know it. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time on a Wednesday in 2024, I am going to raise the hand of farewell to all of you. A massive, massive thank you for tonight, for every stream this year, for everything. Just thank you. You guys rule. And best audience in the world. So thank you so much, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a great one, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weeks. And yeah, keep being beautiful. And love you. Bye.